Good morning. It is Saturday. It's 10:12 a.m. I got an offer from DoorDash to go to Staples and shop for two items. I'm going to get $8.75 for 3.5 miles. I got a really late start on the day today. I first did some shopping this morning at Walmart to get some groceries. And then I got back and I realized I had to give the dog a haircut and get his nails trimmed. And then I started procrastinating, and I finally didn't get everything resolved until, probably not until about 9:30. I got all of my chores around the house done, and then I finally said, okay, I'm gonna finally start doing this job. So I turned it on, and everything has been terrible. Really slow. Offers not even close to $2 for every mile. So it's been really bad. So the plan is to, until it gets busy, I'm just going to do a job and then go home. I'm not even going to park. I'm just going to start heading home. And if something comes in, I'll of course stop and head over to that pickup area. But for the most part, the plan is just to drop off and drive home. And then I'll work today until, say it's 10 now, 11, 12. I guess I'm going to work until 1. I want to try to get that $50. But if it's super slow, I'll just give up by around 12:30 if nothing good comes in. This shopping order should be simple. I think it's just a package of Staples and a package of Scotch tape, if I remember correctly. I looked inside of the DoorDash offer before I accepted it to see what I would be shopping for. I wanted to make sure it was nothing really difficult, and it wasn't. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. Sometimes it's something really hard, like computer equipment, special kind of cables. So because I saw it wasn't anything major, I said, I'll just do it. Arrive at store. They're still letting me know my stats to become a pro shopper, which I have no interest in. Start the shopping. Don't send a message. Here's some of the stuff that I'm shopping for. No big deal. Let's go in. Heavy duty Scotch packing tape. And a big box. Cardboard. Super easy to shop for, no problems at all. Take a photo of the receipt. Done. Ensure the receipt is in the bag. Continue. Put the receipt in the bag. Toss it back there. Let's get out of here before this car starts to move. Yeah, there was no problem at all. It was real simple shopping. The hardest part was telling the guy the last 4 digits of the DoorDash red card. It's so hard to read the number on it because it's such an old card and my vision is not exactly 20/20. So I just asked the nice young salesperson to please let me know what the number is, and I gave him the card and he entered it for me. So that worked out just fine. It's nice when young people have good, strong eyes to help us old people out. So now I'm going to be traveling 7 minutes, 2.2 miles to a house, and it's a leave at the door. And I'll tell you guys the process that I went through when I had to make the purchase, make the transaction for this order. So after I got all of the items and I scanned them into my phone, I got to the screen that you're seeing here, and it just shows that I've completed shopping. I've scanned all the items in the shopping order, and they moved to the done category. And then of course what I shopped for was tape and a box. And then after that I click on the button that says proceed to checkout. Then that takes me to this next screen where it says go to cashier checkout lane. Do not go to self checkout. They don't have self checkout anyway, so there's no risk of that. And then after that, on the another screen comes up that I could not capture. It's a special code that the Staples employee scans, and that I guess is something high security or something, because it wouldn't let me do a screen capture of it. But anyway, the guy zaps that with his gun, and then I slide my card through the machine, and then after that, he asked for the last 4 digits of the card, and that's the only place I go to. Staples is the only place I go to where they actually ask for the last 4 digits of the card. Nobody else does that, so that's unique to them. And then the next screen I get after I click on, confirm checkout or whatever it says where I'm done. The next screen that comes up says take a receipt photo. So I just take a picture of it. I make sure that it's gonna come out okay, so there's not any kind of weird uneven sunlight on the receipt, and I make sure that it's like not gonna blow away or move around while I'm trying to take a picture of it, so it's not blurry. And then after that, the app just says ensure the receipt is in the bag, and sometimes it'll say that and sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll say discard the receipt. So for this particular order, they want the receipt. So I just threw it in the bag, and that was it. I press continue, and I start the delivery. That's it. And that is the process. So every time I do shopping on these apps, there's always a little bit of variation that's going on. So don't be surprised if something different is happening on your end when you go into a particular store and you see something a little bit different, because sometimes it's dependent on what store you're going to, and they may have more rules, like they may have a certain number of barcodes that you have to scan before you even slide a card. I think Petco does that too. I think Petco has a couple of barcodes that you have to scan when you're there. Or no, is that PetSmart? I think it's PetSmart. They have like multiple barcodes. And so far everything's going just fine. We're moving along. I got just a couple of miles on the car right now, getting 68 miles to the gallon. The temperature is currently 84 degrees, so it's going to be hot. It's probably going to end up being my guess is going to be upper 80s, low 90s today. And no wind though. I thought there was a forecast for wind, but so far there's been no wind. Everything's been really nice so far. I really hope I'm able to continue to work until 12:30. I'm so accustomed to turning the app off by now. Actually, yeah, because I usually stop working at 10. So my body right now is like a little bit in shock. It's like, what are you doing? Why are we working? It's not that it's time to enjoy life. It's not time to make money. think I'll be all right though. I had something to eat before I started, so I don't think I'm gonna have like any like low blood sugar crashes, or I doubt I'm gonna get that tired. I should be all right. Right now I feel just fine. I'm just not real hopeful today because it's been so slow with the app, but maybe a lot of people are sleeping in. Is it this house right here? No? The next one? Oh. The navigation's real off today. Here we are. Thank you. That's done. No problems there. I was just trying to make sure the cardboard box didn't blow away. So I was trying to figure out, like, well, I was trying to get a sense of the direction of the wind and how to position it so it doesn't blow over. And that worked out just fine. I guess if there had been a really strong wind, I would have just had to lay it completely flat and then set the tape on top of the box. But there's no severe wind right now, so it'll be fine. Clear on the right, clear on the left, here we go. I don't think a lot of people right now are using any of the delivery services. Every time something like this happens, I wonder if it's a new trend. Like, are people having money problems and they're just not going to want to use it? I've had periods in the past where it has been super slow on the app and you don't get hardly anything all day, and it goes on sometimes for a couple of weeks. I've seen it go on, so you just don't know. I guess the worst case scenario, I guess you would know when it's really bad if an entire 3 months goes by and it never improves. That's when you would know that there's been a serious change in the consumer and they're no longer interested in throwing their money away for delivery services. So that day has not happened. So far, I think the longest it's usually really slow. It's usually like, I mean, it can be seasonal. Sometimes it can be like for a month. It'll be just kind of slow. I mean, you'll get work, but you really got to keep the app on all day long and just pretend you're like you're a fireman and you're waiting for the call from the 911 operator to say, there's a fire. Go pick up McDonald's. There's a fire at McDonald's. I got a message from Walmart Spark that was telling me that I have to either upload a driver's license for my account that has a little star in the corner to show, that I'm a citizen, or I have to submit a regular driver's license and they said the back of my social security card. So I don't know if that's going to affect the number of people that can work for Walmart Spark. I don't know how many people are not going to have the ability to deliver with them. So it's got me wondering if I should try doing Walmart Spark in the near future to see if there's less competition on that particular app. I'll have to think about it some more. I think that I know on May 7th is the official day where people have to have that little star on their driver's license to fly. So I think what I'll do is possibly the week after that occurs, I'll log into Walmart Spark just to see what kind of offers they're putting out. And maybe there's some potential revenue that I can generate from adding that app to my list, but we'll see. I have no idea how industrious the gig workers are for Walmart Spark, as far as how they're going to be able to figure out how to get past the system if they don't have a little star on their driver's license. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do. Because I'm sure a lot of them, they have they have those bootlegged accounts or whatever, so they're smart at figuring stuff out. Something's coming in. Let me see if I get it. I got the next one, and it's coming from Uber Eats. We're going to go to Sunny and Fine's breakfast burrito. I'm going to get $7.22 for 1.7 miles. This looks like a decent one. This is a ghost kitchen. This isn't a real restaurant. I mean, it is a real restaurant, but it's called Don Chewy's Mexican Grill. They just created this name for people that are craving a breakfast burrito, and they'll more than likely click on their restaurant, on their ghost kitchen restaurant, because it sounds like they specialize in breakfast burritos. I doubt if someone was craving a breakfast burrito, they would click on a restaurant called Don Chewy, because it doesn't sound like a place where you get a good breakfast burrito. That's probably why they created the ghost kitchen name. Don Chewy just sounds like they serve, tacos and tostadas and, like lunch and dinner, not breakfast. Oh, an add-on to the order. An additional $7 for 4 miles. No, that's too many miles. Sorry. That is way too many miles. I try to give them slack. Like if it's like $1, if it's $1 off, I'll do it. From the $2 for every mile. But not, especially not on the weekend. On the weekend, I don't really feel like giving the customers much slack when it comes to my minimum. Because usually on the weekends is when it's real busy. So for all I know, even though I keep telling you guys it's slow today, at any minute it could turn around because, maybe people are just sleeping in or they're just busy with other things. Ooh, I better park over here. I want to park next to that pickup truck. All right, let's go get it. Well, it was about a 3-minute wait for the order. And now we're going to be going on a 3-minute drive, 0.5 miles. It says, oh, it's in, oh shoot, I'm going the wrong way. It says it's the Tesla building. I know where that is, and the app's sending me the wrong way to get there. I'm glad they put that in the directions. The navigation was going to take me on a wild goose chase. Meet in the lobby, give to security. Easy drop off. For this particular delivery, all I do is I throw my hazard lights on. I just park against the curb. I run in. There's a security guard station. They don't pay any attention to me. And I just leave it at a table on a counter that just kind of says deliveries here or something like that, as I recall. And then I just get out of there. So a simple drop off. And now this is going to make 2 deliveries. So let's see, 7 and 8. I think we're at $15 and change once I drop this off. It's the weekend, so I'll be surprised if the doors even open. Usually you have to buzz security to get in on the weekend. We'll see what happens. Hazards. Let's go in. Thank you. No problems with that one at all. I'm just surprised these people have to work on a Saturday. Must be having financial problems. I see the stock for Tesla is really plummeting. So that's got to have a lot of these people worried. I would say 100% of the employees that work at this company are invested in Tesla stock. That would be my guess. I bet you there's not a single employee that doesn't have some type of investment, personal or otherwise, in the company's stock, and are really troubled about how low the price is right now for that investment. Oh man. Well, it's now 10:45 a.m. and now the plan is still in effect to head back for home and wait for another one to come in. There's really I really don't have a sense that it's busy yet. Based on how quiet the app is right now, like there's no activity, that tells me it's just slow. And I don't know when maybe it'll get active at dinner time, but I don't work dinner time. The latest I'll work is usually till about maybe 2 at the latest. Is the latest I'll go. Not past that. Because I'm somebody that usually wakes up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I usually go to bed at around 8 o'clock. So, unfortunately, a dinner shift does not work with my lifestyle, my sleeping routine. Now, that particular customer, it was just a they put it as a meet at the door, but then instructions to leave it at the desk. So the app only gives you the option to just press confirm complete order. There's no taking a picture or anything like that. So you can't send them a photo. So you just leave it and go. I got the next offer from DoorDash. We're going to go to Great Harvest and then the cracked egg. I'm going to get $25 for 10.9 miles. This is a good one. I haven't got a big dollar offer in a while. I was so excited I ran out without my hat. I got to make sure my hair looks okay. Pat down the hair so you don't have hat hair. What's causing the delay? The order's being prepared. It's always being prepared. Let's go in. It's about a 3-minute wait, not bad at all. Whoa, it's just bread. Alright, everything worked out fine on the pickup. Their stapler broke. They were packing my order and then trying to staple the bag shut, and the stapler wasn't working. They tried using the second stapler and that wasn't working. So the two girls started talking to each other and they said, why don't we just use stickers? So that's what they did. They got these little Great Harvest bread stickers and they put them on the bag to seal it. That was about it. And there was all ladies in there. That's kind of like a ladies store because it's like a little country themed store. And everybody's shopping for usually bread and muffins and pastries. Why is this app telling me to go that way? Uh-oh. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Ah, no, I'm adding miles. Oh, I made a mistake. Turn around. Now it's going to be I just added about an extra 3/4 of a mile to the trip. For some reason, I thought it said Eggworks. And we're not going to Eggworks, we're going to the cracked egg. Oh well. It happens. At least I realized it now. I was wondering what was going on. I'm like, the app's telling me to turn around. I'm like, why? Eggworks is this way. And then I realized, wait a minute. Is it Eggworks? Alright, let's see how many tenths of a mile it takes me to get back to where I was. So I can figure out how off I am. 0.1. 0.2. 0.3. 0.6 miles. I went 0.6 miles out of my way the wrong way. So how many miles did I just add on to this delivery? It's 0.6. So now it's 11.2 miles. 11.2 miles for $25. All right, I'm still okay. It's still $2 a mile. And both these deliveries are for the same customer. We're going to end up way over in Old Henderson, where a lot of the houses are really run down. Let me see what street we're going to go on when we drop this off. I don't know that. Oh, I think that's a newer community based on the street name. Usually when I'm traveling to an older part of Henderson where they have like really old homes, like from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, the streets are named weird names by rocks like magnesium and limestone, and they're all named like that because in the olden days, way back before Vegas was truly Vegas, the only business that was really here, I mean, the main business was was mining companies that mined for minerals. So that's why the street names over in Old Henderson are named these names that sound like different types of rock formations or rock minerals. I think, no, I don't know for sure. I don't want to give you guys incorrect information, but I think it had to do with World War II, and also it had to do with in the 30s during the Great Depression when they were building the Hoover Dam. I think that's when they were mining for stuff to get the materials to build the Hoover Dam, if I'm not mistaken, because that would make sense. Because logistically, you can't ship all kinds of heavy rock to the site where the Hoover Dam is, so it has to be somewhere nearby that they would have mined all the materials. And then, of course, there was some type of stuff they were doing during World War II that they needed some types of raw materials for military purposes during World War II. I remember all the stories my family would tell me about during World War II, like my grandmother building the planes for World War II, and my grandfather serving in the army during World War II, I believe. And then on the other side of my family, they talked about internment, since they were Japanese, and how they were put in internment camps because of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. All the Japanese on the West Coast had to be put in internment camps. So I got to hear some stories about that too. All those things are so long ago now. People don't even remember. Pretty soon people won't even remember the pandemic. They'll be like, "What pandemic?" They'll be like, "We had a pandemic?" I'm like, "Yep." It says this job's going to take 37 minutes to complete. So this is a good job. This is a very good assignment. This is a time when you can really see how it really pays off just to wait for good offers to come in and not to be desperate. The only problem with using my strategy of waiting is that you have to have the time available. Some people, they just don't have that kind of luxury. Most people have commitments that they have to do, So they can only do the job for a set number of hours and they have to stop. So that's why I think a lot of people take whatever job they can get, whatever kind of assignment is available, because they have such a short window to do this job, so they can't be picky. Exit, arrive at store. What's causing the delay? They're working on it. They're working on it. Looks like they ordered a lot of food. Ooh, it's busy here today. I don't know how crowded it's going to be in there. Let me see if there's any parking spots available. I see one parking spot available on the left. I'm going to go for it. Something tells me someone else is going to take it, though. I think this person here is going to take it in front of me. Oh, there's a second spot. I see it. So he may... Let's see what they go for. Oh, they're going to go for that spot. Okay, I'm going to take the one I saw. All right, we made it. Let's go in and get it. Okay, so we got... in the car, we have 2 giant bags of food from the Cracked Egg. And of course, that big bag from, what's it called? Great Harvest Bread. So let's go. Let's go, everybody. Please, let's go. It was about an 8 or 9 minute wait for the order. And because it's Saturday, that place was busy. Everybody has their kids with them. It's the husband and wife. It's the whole gang. The whole gang is all together and they're out to have a good Saturday. Which of course means trouble for me. Because I've got to deal with all that, so... Well, that's all done. Now we've got a 14-minute drive, 8 miles. And it's a leave at the door. So all that's good. Just don't know what traffic's going to be like. That's the mystery. And right now, a lot of fluffy, thick clouds are in the sky right now. But there's a little bit of darkness on the horizon. So it may start to rain. Because anytime here in Vegas, when I see these types of clouds in the sky, with that darkness on the horizon, that means a sudden heavy rain is about to occur. Which would make sense since I'm going to be the furthest away from home possible. So that would make sense. If whenever I drive far, far away, that's when the weather turns against me. And I end up stuck in some horrible weather conditions trying to drive back home. So with this order, once it goes into the piggy bank, I'll have a little over $40. So I'll only have to make about $8 or $9 more to reach the $50 goal. And I should have the money in the bank in the next 13 minutes, and it's 11:16 now. So that's around 11:30 a.m. We'll have the money, and I'll have the option to work in Old Henderson to get that last bit of money or drive all the way back over here. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Come on, guy, it's green. I don't want to honk at you, it's Saturday. I'm trying to be patient. since I only have to make that small amount of money, I'll park somewhere and wait 5 minutes and see if I get something. I'll give it a chance. I just really don't like delivery in that area, but I'll give it the old 5-minute chance. We just made it. Oh, somebody broke down. Oh, no wonder. Car broke down, blocking all the lanes. I was wondering what was going on. I'm like, it's Saturday. Why is the traffic so heavy? This person ordered a lot of food. I'm gonna have to take it in batches. So I'll first bring in the I think I'll first take in the Great Harvest Bread bag first, and then that way you guys can at least see me drop that off, and then I need both hands for the cracked egg order. Gotta remember to replace my thermos. It's been a couple of days. And of course, you know, if you don't wash your thermos after a couple of days, you get serious problems. It's not sanitary. We got a long drive on the freeway, so everybody enjoy the nice view of the freeway. I looked on the map to see if we could take the street, but no, that ain't gonna happen. I think the most I might save driving on the street would have been about a mile, but the amount of time I would waste taking the street would make it not worth it. So we've got to take the freeway all the way there, because it's an 8-mile journey, and I don't think the customer would be very happy if I took an 8-mile journey on the street, because it would double the time. It would take twice as long. The nice thing about working at this time of the day is the sun is now high up in the sky, so I don't have that. You know, usually on my videos, you'll just see a lot of views of the sun right going straight into the camera. So at least I don't have that problem right now when I'm driving. And not just that, also for my sun visor, I'm constantly having to pull down my sun visor, because the sun hasn't gotten up high enough in the sky. For some reason, my phone says no internet connection. When that usually happens, I have to go to airplane mode and then turn airplane mode off, and it will try to communicate. See if that works. Yep, that did it. So this is going to be one of those days where there's not a lot of deliveries. It's just one major long drive. I'm still getting good gas mileage. I'm getting about 60 miles to the gallon, and I right now only have 13 miles on the car. think I'm just getting good gas mileage because I'm on this direction that I'm driving in is kind of like all downhill. So I think that's why the mileage is really good right now. And yeah, it's getting higher. Now I'm at 61 miles to the gallon. So far today I've gotten 2 DoorDash jobs and I've gotten 1 Uber Eats job. I think that's it. I think I've only gotten 3 jobs today. I think this delivery may be going to a gated community. I kind of remember this street name. It sounds familiar, and it sounds like it's one of these rich gated communities. And there's only one that I know of in the entire Old Henderson area. So after I drop this off, I will park, I think there's like a Vaughn's supermarket over here near the drop-off. That's the closest place I can think to park. So that's probably where I'll park and wait for the 5 minutes. And then I'm just going to take the street all the way back home. In general, there's not a lot of work in this part of town. Most of the customers in this area order food from where I was at, and they have it brought out over here. I think most of them are sick of all the restaurants that are in this area. They're so burned out on them because there's such a limited number of options for the customers to have over here that's what they end up doing. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to eat at these same places every day either. Get my driver's license out. Get that all prepped. Because I'm fairly certain this is going to be a gated community. Not 100%, but I'm about 75% certain. And those dark clouds, they're coming. I see them creeping. Yeah, it looks based on the navigation. It looks like it's going to be a gated community. After I make this left, it says make a right. And the only thing on the right I can think of is this huge gated community. And then at this particular one, I don't even know if the guard even comes up to my door. I think he stays like in a big tower or like this real high up structure. It's been a while, but as I recall, that's what they do. They barely even get close to me. No matter how fast you drive on these roads, somebody wants to go faster. It's like I'm going 50 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour, and they're like, nope, you're going still too slow. And they go around me. Yup, it's gonna be that place. Did I pass it? Uh-oh. I think I'm gonna have to go back. I think I passed it. Maybe it's not it. It's telling me to make a right at the light. Maybe it isn't that community. Oh, shoot. I don't think it is a gated community then. It's telling me to make a right here and a left. Have I ever been over here? The only time I can recall coming over here is when it tried to get me to go through a gate on the right. But no, now it's telling me to go left. Oh, it's not in the gated community. I was wrong. Now we're just in the regular part of town. Well, that's fine with me. The less human interaction I have to have, the better. It's fine with me. This is gonna make it much easier. Two more minutes, 0.5 miles. I could see why they ordered DoorDash. They are really far from everything. This is really far out. We're getting real close to being up against the mountain coming up. And I can see up ahead there's kids playing in the street. Speed bump. Oh, they must have a lot of kids that play in this area. That's why they have these speed humps. Ooh, we are way out of here. Not that one, not that one. We're here, we made it. Wow. Thank you. Alright, did it. It is done. Time 11:31 a.m. Nice. Now begins the long journey back. Get my Uber Eats going. There's no point in parking over here. You're just too far from civilization. Oh, that was an easy $25, I have to say. There was very little effort involved in that one. $2.34 for 4 miles. I wish all the jobs were easy like that, but not this far away. Because you can see if I didn't get anything good, I would end up putting about a total of about 22 miles on my car for this order, which is barely, which is not what I want. You know, I don't want to end up having to drive every day 40 to 50 miles to get $50. Even if I could finish working like in an hour, hour and a half, like I would end up making like $50 or $35 or $40 an hour to do the work, but my poor car, he would be just racking up miles. So I prefer jobs where the miles are just really low, and I'm just bouncing around the local neighborhood, picking up a little bit of change here and there, and then, you know, at the end of the 2 to 3 hour shift, I got my $50 and hardly any miles on my car. Oh, so what opportunities are in this area? I got an Albertsons near here, a Vons, a tropical smoothie. I have a Roberto's. There's a McDonald's, a Starbucks. So there's stores that just people don't use them that often. That's the problem. It's just like so many other zones that I go to. They have all the same restaurants that my area has, but nobody uses them for delivery. My area that I go just happens to be a really hot place that people use to have deliveries done. $3 for 6 miles. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna park. I just don't have a lot of good feelings about this area. I'm sure as I'm driving, normally this is what I do. I just start driving back towards my zone, and as I'm making my way back towards my zone, something will come in. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I really don't like delivery. I don't like working in areas that are not my own neighborhood. It's not the pickups that bother me, it's the drop-offs. It's like I end up in these weird places that I've never been before. And then I start to get anxious. I'm like, oh, I don't know this neighborhood. I don't know where to park. I don't know where the door is. So I'll just take the street all the way back into my neck of the woods. It's going to be at least a 15-minute drive before I get back to my neck of the woods. So the time is 11:36 now. And when I said I'd work till 12:30, so I've got less than an hour to go until the day's over. The clouds seem to be moving slow, so it doesn't look like it's going to rain in the next hour. You can always tell when it's suddenly going to rain because the clouds and the wind starts going crazy because of the atmospheric disturbance. But this cloud burst or whatever it is, these dark clouds are barely moving. They're barely budging, so it's not a violent atmospheric event. Traffic is still not too bad on this road on the weekends or the weekdays, so it's a really good way to get back to my zone. $2.18 for 3 miles. It's like if I have to drive really far from home, at least it's an easy drive. If this was taking me anywhere near the Strip or anywhere near towards Summerlin, I don't think I would have taken it. Because the traffic to get near the 15 freeway would have been a disaster. But over here, nobody comes out over here but people who live here, so it's pretty peaceful. So the first store to come up is going to be a Walgreens on the right and then an Albertsons on the left. But I can't park over there because DoorDash still won't recognize me as being back in my zone. I have like a defined area that I'm supposed to stay in order to get offers or orders. It's like at a Royal Grande is when the app finally says I'm back in my zone. But even once I get there, it still usually doesn't give me any offers until I get all the way back to Green Valley. Normally I have to go all the way pretty much back to where the Staples is, and there's like a Staples and a Target. Oh, and the Sprouts. That's usually when the app starts going crazy again. It's like, oh, welcome back to where all the work is. Here's a job. But all the way out over here, nothing. You can see as I'm driving, there's just nothing coming in. And the offers that have come in so far have been pretty terrible. a $2 one and a $3 one. My new refrigerator will be coming in next week. It's been real difficult just having a refrigerator in the garage. I've set up like a table in the garage with a insulated bag sitting on the table. And then every time I have to prepare a meal, I'll go to the garage and I'll put ice blocks. You know, like those frozen ice blocks. I'll take them out of the freezer and I'll put them in the thermal insulated bag. And then I'll start taking all the different things I'm going to need for my next thing I'm going to be cooking and put them all in the thermal insulated bag, zip it up and carry the bag into the house. And I use that like a cooler in the kitchen while I'm getting everything ready. Because there's so many, different things I need when I'm trying to make a meal, and I don't want to have to go back and forth to the garage. So I've created like this portable refrigerator that I'm carrying from the garage to the kitchen, and then I'm making the meal that I gotta make, and then when I'm all done, I take that little cooler and I have to disassemble it again and put it all back in the refrigerator and freezer and reset for the next time. So it's been a pain. But I think the new refrigerator will be here on Tuesday or Wednesday. And I kept thinking that maybe my refrigerator that died, it would suddenly come back to life. But nope. I've left it plugged in, but it is completely dead. It's like no motors running, nothing. It just completely went kaput. So I'm not sure if it would like reboot if I unplugged it and plugged it back in. But I'm not going to even bother because that repairman told me that my refrigerator has some kind of motherboard issue and it's best to just get rid of it because it's too expensive to repair. And you cannot have an unreliable refrigerator. It could just blow out at random and then I lose all the food that I spent money on. So, no. The only real option I have is to replace it. Well, we're just passing the Albertsons, It is a slow day. I think I'm gonna end up when I going all the way back to my area and having about 30 miles total on the car. That's gonna leave me only with 5 miles left. I allot myself 35 miles a day to do this job. So I don't know if I'm gonna have enough miles left to do another delivery. So let's just say if I make it to Green Valley, I'm not gonna, and I don't get an offer, I'm just gonna turn it off. And I'll try to be generous. I'll take an offer that's at least I'll go all the way back to $5. So if this app sends me anything for at least $5, and it's at least, it's no, you know, and it's somewhere in the area of $2 for every mile, I'll take it. And then that will at least get me to what, 40, I think $46, $47 for the day, which is fine. But if I make it to Green Valley and I get nothing, well, that's it, we're done. So we'll see what happens. I try to always think about the long game when I do this job. It's like, it's not about making a lot of money every day or every week or even every year. It's the kind of thing I think I'm gonna do all the way until I can't drive anymore. So, and I want this car to last as long as possible. I think I've projected that this car should last me another, what did I say this car is gonna last me for? I think another 6 years is what I'm projecting this car will last me. So that will take me to age, oh God, 62? So that's my plan. So I think this car should last me that much longer, because if I'm driving this car for another 6 years and only putting on about 15,000 miles on the car, 15 times 6, what is that? 15 times 6. So I'm going to add another 90,000 miles on the car in the next 6 years. And I currently have about 160,000 miles on the car. So that means I'm going to take this car to about the 250,000 mile mark before I ditch it. And that's reasonable for a Toyota if you maintain it, which I do. So I think that's reasonable. So that's why I'm playing the long game, because this is more of a activity for me, and I want my activity to not be too expensive. You know, I don't want to blow my wad all in one place. So you got to think about the long game if you're doing it as a hobby for entertainment or for extra money, for fun money or whatever. If I was doing this to make a living, I would have to start buying clunker cars. I'd have to really just always make sure I buy a used clunker car, try to buy it as cheap as possible for the lowest number of miles, and then just keep trading them in, because I'll be wrecking them. I'll be running them into the ground, working 10 or 12. $6 for 17 miles, no. I think that's the most sensible strategy if you are a hardcore delivery driver trying to make a living doing this job, is to get a car and just keep trading it in, or drive it into the ground, but don't invest a lot of money in it. As soon as this light turns green, we are turning this app off. So we'll see what happens. This guy's carrying a bag from the Earth Cafe. Wow, he walked a long way for that bag. That's a long walk. He's been walking for at least 30 minutes. That's not the kind of thing I would expect someone to have a craving for. I think Earth Cafe is just kind of similar to Starbucks, only they have a wider mix of pastries. But whatever they had at Earth Cafe, he was really craving it. And that's why he went there. Unless he was an employee of, maybe he's an employee of the restaurant. That's probably it. He probably works at Earth Cafe, and they gave him something free to take home. Because Earth Cafe is expensive. It's like 50% more than a Starbucks. It's getting more. The clouds are starting to move faster.